It's time for a very special Thanksgiving. Bring it in. There's David Thorpe. There's Jarod Hector. Judy is back in the background. Hi, legal. You guys, Thanksgiving is my favorite holiday.
I have. It's very interesting for a Brit. But go on, tell us why.
Yeah, the Brit thing that didn't really take. Okay, number one, it's about food. It's delicious. Number two, it happens the way our family traditions go that it's very easy for us. We just kind of roll in and become guests places. It's just, there's no stress. You have to buy gifts, nothing. Number three, and this is the theme of today's show, gratitude's like medicine, Jarod. It's good for your soul. Yeah.
I like where you're going with that, Henry. Good for the soul.
Yeah. Well, Scotch, just to be clear. So is Scotch.
I had some nice single malt Scotch last night, actually. Might have some more later tonight.
Instantly into the booze.
It is a little chilly out here in New York City, you know. Anyway, so let's talk about what we're thankful for.
What are we thankful for?
am thankful for the Memphis Grizzlies. Look, they have had a bit of an uneven start, but 9-8. They had a great win against Utah on Monday night. With the futures of Ja Morant and Jaren Jackson Jr., there's a lot to be excited for in Memphis. And Judy, play that clip because this just brings so much joy to my heart. Fills my soul with warmth.
And Scotch. This is Jaren Jackson. Yeah. He had himself a game.
Had a good game. So this is a tip that he had to win because there was a play that got reversed late in the fourth.
Seconds remaining. This is the end of the game. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Wins the tip, goes to Morant.
Yeah, this is the final play.
Morant
I
tries
never saw this.
Hell of a pass.
Morant makes a big time pass. Wow.
Oh yeah, and what a great shot there by Triple J. That was, and everybody's just excited. You can stop it now, Judy. That was just wonderful. Like that was teamwork and teammates being together at their best. Those guys are, God, Jaren's still he's young, he's 22, he's their babies, right? Still learning how to play this game with Ja Morant. If things develop the way they are, and we're seeing it, Coach, his foul rate is down tremendously this season. He played 38 minutes in that game. You know why? Not in foul trouble. That's how you can play minutes. And he was outstanding. Ja Morant played well too. It was, as did Desmond Bane. I'm liking the Grizzlies, and I'm very thankful for them.
Okay, are we going round robin here, Henry?
Whatever. Yeah, sure. You want to do that?
Okay, that's fine.
Okay. The only problem is I have a million, and you guys have
that's
7.
all right. You can clean. You can do the rest.
Now start round robin at the end.
All right. I'm just going to start with. I'm just feeling good. I'm almost 57. I feel great. My dad is not doing great. He's 81. This is the price you pay for living so long, but it isn't easy to watch your dad die, basically, and losing his mind, although he might get it back. We think it's medication. I took my daughter to see him the other day in the rehab center, and she very pleasantly told me that she hopes I live a long, long time and that I peacefully die in my sleep so she doesn't have to watch me do what I'm watching. It was actually very funny. And we need humor. My brother Mike and I are making each other laugh. That's all we can do. But while we have good health and feel good, we have to take advantage of it. He would want the same thing, and he outlived his parents by a long, long time. And I don't think he's going to die tomorrow. It's just his quality of life sucks. But my quality of life does not suck, so I'm thankful for that.
I'm coming out swinging. I'm thankful for Steve Simon. He is the head of the World Tennis Association, and he's the first real figure in sports to stand up to somebody really powerful. You maybe know the story, but just recapping. Tennis star Peng Shuai went missing after accusing a powerful politician of sexual assault. She remains missing. The WTA doesn't have a lot of revenue, and they have a deal worth something around $1 billion with China. But Steve Simon took a hard stand, saying on CNN, "We have to start as a world making decisions that are based upon right and wrong, period. And we can't compromise that. We're definitely willing to pull our business and deal with all the complications with it because this is bigger than our business."
Big time.
That's huge. And I'm with Steve Simon as a tennis fan and someone who covers the sport a little bit. That's huge. The Chinese government putting out fake stuff that, oh, she's fine. I'm like, okay. Don't know about all that. we know how your government operates. But no, that was great. Putting human lives before the almighty capitalist machine. Greatest band of all time, #1 in the world.
I haven't heard about that in a while.
They were on a little bit of a break this early fall, but they're back. They're back in time for the holidays. So I am also thankful for Kevin Durant and the Brooklyn Nets and their little funny thing they got going on as a team. We talked about the Blue Collar Boys, that little group with Patty Mills and Blake Griffin and their hard hats and steel toes. Kevin's application for the group still under review. You know, Blake says he's got to do more. Yes, KD does need to be thankful for some cocoa butter. We can get to that another time. There was a quite funny picture of KD out on the internet, but this was funny because KD and his young rookie Cam Thomas, who he's taken under his wing, is having a friendly little, thing back and forth.
I don't hear it.
No sound, Judy.
Can't hear it.
Why is it not playing any sound? I haven't seen this either.
Oh, it's good stuff. It's good stuff.
This is after the last game?
Yeah.
Me and KD just be trash talking about, our scoring abilities. Because I think I'm a better scorer than him at my age than he was, and he doesn't believe that. And then he never wants to play me one-on-one. So, because we played one-on-one and shoot around one time, post ups, I beat him. Don't tell him that. I beat him.
And Cam Thomas said he beat me one-on-one. That is more than ridiculous. Cam is lying. He was lying for sure. I definitely beat him 13-5. And those 5 shots that he made, I turned my back and was like, go ahead.
He kind of mumbled that it was in a post up,
We didn't shoot around. And I beat him 15-5, matter of fact. It's an ongoing game, so the score don't start over. At the end of the season, we're going to tally up the points, but he's down a lot.
Is he going to be down more now?
Yeah, he's going to get down 25 soon. But he had, what was he tonight? A little 4 for 7. He's feeling himself when he coming. You know what I mean? Yeah, I was excited to talk to him. You know what I mean? I'm sure his boys hit him up on Twitter and send him texts, and he's feeling himself. So he's gonna come in here and fabricate.
This is the best.
This is just fun.
Wow.
Like those two just have a fun thing back and forth. I got on the bench, but it's like you also see it because it's like KD, like when Cam gets into the game, is like gassing him up, like, no, come on, you're good, you got this, right? Like that's the thing. And if Cam scores, he's like, yes, I told you I'm good. Like it's a fun thing. It's nice when the old grizzled vet and the young rookie can have a good time together, enjoying each other, and to have a little trash talk back and forth. So that's
There's a second
to my life.
He played a deadpan, but he broke a couple times, right? Like, I love that. A couple times.
Amazing.
So good. It's like, what was he, 4 to 5? Yeah, he's feeling himself. You guys excited to talk to him?
I love it. Yeah.
Almost every player thinks they are the best scorer that ever lived.
Of course.
The NBA, that is my experience. And when I've had conversations with players on these kind of subjects where it's them versus some other George Gervin or KD, whatever, and they think they're better, I just love to say, all right, just to be clear, you are out of your fucking mind. But they are.
But you got to but that's confidence. That's how you get to the NBA. You got to think you're that good, or else you won't make it.
Like, ask Jordan Clarkson if he's a better scorer than Kevin Durant. He might punch you in the face. He might get offended by the idea that you would even consider he's not better than Kevin Durant.
Got to.
That's funny. Okay, so another thing I'm thankful for, obviously, is all of you. It's Judy bringing in morning with that lovely voice that she has, and she's just so pleasant, perky, and fun, but also doesn't fuck around when we need her to be legal or just to be smart. She's always there.
Or if it's noon.
That's true. Well, I like her less for that, to be honest. I don't mind her. It's extra. And also for recognizing, as she said off air, that I am completely right to be the little Florida jerk that I am regarding our weather, because we're stuck with the worst governor of all time. Jarod's
is that what she said, Jarod? That's not
no, jerk is not the word she used.
Now you
I
sound
didn't
like
hear the
Cam
word
Thomas.
right. Yeah, I didn't.
Just to be clear, now you guys sound like Cam Thomas, okay? So our Friday mornings when Jarod, it never fails to crack me up when he says, with me, Jarod Hector. I just love that so much. But also, Jarod, and I've said this to you before, I do a lot of these. Like, I do lots of podcasts. I'm interviewed by a lot of people that have been for a long time. And you're as good as there is, if not the best. It's hard to say just the best because, you guys, once you're at the elite level, you're at elite level, and you are. And I really love that. I love our shows. We've gotten better and better. I've had to get better. You are such a pro what you do. And of course, Henry, I mean, just, it never ends with Henry, but just the other day, I wanted to write about DeRozan and Derrick Rose, which I did. And Henry is not a pushover. Now, not to say that he is a jerk or obstinate, which he is, but not regarding not regarding works that I'm trying to create from scratch. He's just a great partner, but if he doesn't see it or feel it, he just doesn't see it or feel it. And so you just have to talk him through it. And then out of nowhere, I mean, I was still in the same park I started with when Henry said, "Ooh, let's compare it to Russell Westbrook." And boom, it was just exactly the gravity that it needed to really make DeRozan and Rose's season pop. And but that's always the case with Henry. And I could talk for an hour about
I had no idea, David. I had no idea that they were all born at the same time. Like I just
I did though. I knew they were really close, which is
Yeah.
why it was such a genius idea to begin with.
It doesn't always work out like that. I have a lot of
No.
ideas that are really stupid.
But it's nice to have someone that always has my back, and Henry does. And then our people that join us here and bring it in, and our subscribers, the people that I think that understand what we're doing. We are unique in this space, and we're not going to change. And I think the NBA is better off for us. And I think that those fans that pay attention are lucky to have the group that we have led by Henry and Judy. So I'm thankful for that.
Here, here. Wait, is it me now?
Yeah, it's you. Mhm.
Okay. Oh yeah. I'm thankful for another Steve Kerr. I just remembered that like about a year ago, those dumb shits wanted to fire him, right? Remember Warriors fans were like, he's the worst. Now they're the best team in the league with like a whole different approach, right? He's obviously a fantastic coach. They just weren't good last year. I'm sorry. That's just how it goes sometimes. But yeah, now they'll get Klay Thompson back, and Steve Kerr won't take a victory lap, but I will for him. Like, what a great coach.
Yeah, we talked about this on Friday, actually. Just like the way that those 2 years allowed those young guys to learn the system and get better. Oh, now that they understand and they're good now. Oh, wait, and we have Steph Curry. Oh, we're fine now. It just takes time. Look, I want to echo what Coach Thorpe said. I am thankful for, first of all, my health. Look, it's been a rough 18 months to 2 years for all of us, right? For the world. So I'm thankful to have my health, be fine, be working, thankful for my family, thankful for this extended TrueHoop family, been a fan of TrueHoop since its days on ESPN, emailing Henry out of the blue. We met for lunch downtown on the West Village.
It was a good lunch.
It was a good lunch. And now here we are, right? Yeah. Like three years later now, almost. Jeez.
Holy cow.
I know, it's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Here we are. So, I'm thankful for this whole organization, what we do here, the platform, to share our ideas, to welcome me with open arms and take in, my thoughts about the NBA and the capitalist machine and all that jazz. Coach Thorpe, of course, every time I talk to you about basketball, I get smarter, just learning more things about the intricacies of the game. Judy's the best. Who doesn't love Judy? Judy's like, she's not only legal, she is. Jarod, don't forget us when you're on contract with Pixar Blockbusters. Listen, when you hear me in the movies and I'm like, and I forget all of you because I'll go full-fledged Jeff Bezos and be like, I'm buying a private island. See you guys like, no.
Just
none of that.
Just don't get into a space race.
No. None of that.
Just so we know now that you're thankful for us, even though we won't be seeing you.
Yes. Yeah. I'm thankful for you now. Won't be then.
That's nice. I like that.
And of course, thankful for everyone, all of our subscribers and our loyal listeners that come in live, that tune in every single Monday and Friday with us. Thank you.
All right. So I'll get to basketball, but I am going to quickly throw out that, of course, my family means the world to me, my son and daughter and my wife. And my daughter had to go to a funeral today, and she just looks like such an adult. She's 20. And I don't think she's ever gone to a funeral before on her own. And I don't know if she Googled it. I didn't talk to her, but she just is growing up. And my son has a big game tonight. He played the other night.
What would she have Googled there? I'm confused.
Huh?
What would she have Googled there? Funerals?
Appropriate attire for a 20-year-old. And I don't even know. I mean, she didn't bring clothes home for a funeral. She wasn't expecting someone died and a friend of hers said, I need you there with me.
Oh, wow.
And she had a black dress here. She ain't wearing my wife's outfits because they're not the same size. My wife is much taller. So she had something. It's great to be a father of caring people, loving people. And I love that. All right. So I'm thankful for Zach LaVine and the Bulls because as I love to say, and I've given speeches about this many times before, no one knows a damn thing, to include me. Henry's going to share a parable later that's going to connect with what I'm saying. I did not love Zach LaVine coming out of college. Of course, he was 19 years old out of UCLA. I thought he could be a Jamal Crawford type scorer. I will say that he's better than that, and he's still growing as a player. The Bulls, I was 50-50 on them this year. I think I had them winning about half their games. Vooch has been out with COVID protocols, I believe. DeRozan came out of nowhere and is having an MVP season. Obviously, I've written about that. Yes, I wrote about it yesterday. And this is the story. I'm fucking smart about basketball. I know that. I've worked hard to be such. It's not like I see it all. Shit happens. Life is fluid. The game is fluid. There's a degree of chance here that we always have to factor in, and coaching matters. And Billy did a great job at OKC when people thought they'd be terrible, me included. He's done it again in Chicago. They got something going on there. I don't think, I'll be curious to get your opinion later. Are they contenders? I don't think so. Could they pull an upset in at least one round? Yeah. They've got some serious scores, and they're playing defense for the first time in a while. So it's good to be humbled. Players need to be humbled. So do people like me. I'm happy to be humbled.
I'm thankful for every player who did whatever crazy hard work they had to do to make David Thorpe say, he's my new favorite player. He said it recently with Gary Payton. You just heard him talk about Zach LaVine a little bit. We know about Scotty Barnes. Who else, David? There's a few others on the favorite player list.
Well, I mean, obviously, Kevon Looney is one of them. Jeremy Grant, Jaren Jackson Jr., who is Jarod loves him so much. He's kind of returning back because remember, he was so good his first year in 58 games. I think he played that he just got to get back to that because he had dropped below that.
7 points in a game. He was killing.
Right. I thought he was the best prospect, including Luka. So I ain't quitting on that. As good as Luka is, Jackson has a chance to be a Tim Duncan type player with shooting threes. And he's 22, Jarod?
22.
Yeah. So he didn't play in the EuroLeague like Luka did and get that kind of experience. So yeah. And there's always more. Zach LaVine is getting there.
Yeah.
Like I don't normally like players like Zach, guys. I don't think Henry does either. Just non-thinking, pure scorers, athletes. I appreciate the mental part of the game. He has such a great soul for the game now. And I saw it this summer. I fucking love Zach LaVine now. I do. And I'm embarrassed. I didn't love him before. He maybe grew up a little bit, but I'm sure this is always in him. He's such a good dude on the court. Love him.
He was starting to improve last year, coach, season. Yeah. And then, I mean, improved like the scoring, whatever, but like in terms of his basketball IQ. Yeah. And then spending the summer with like Draymond and KD and those guys, like that glow up that you get after when you spend with those guys, you're like, oh, I work hard. And you hang with those guys, you're like, I don't know shit about work. Right.
And I think importantly, you see it right in front of you. Oh, these guys focus like this, right? These guys study those kind of intimate details. I don't know that Zach had ever even thought about that. And respected the guys on his team that were doing it because they weren't always as good as him. But these guys, like Kevin Durant, sweats all of it. Draymond Green, there's a video I'm showing later. Draymond Green sweats all of it. And you have to if you want to be the best. And I think that, to your point, Jarod, I think that's infused into Zach a little bit too. And the Bulls are benefiting as well as he is.
Well, you have to be kind of an animal. When someone dramatically improves with their weaknesses, like what ogre doesn't love that, right? Like it's hard to be humble like that, right? And but it's important, right? I mean, it's important if you want to be the best, right? You can be, I mean,
right.
We always pick on Jordan Clarkson.
What he does, but at what he does, I respect that he is a fucking monster scorer.
Right, but he's not spending the summer saying, what am I bad at? What can I get better at, right? Like when people do that, it just goes far beyond the NBA, right? Like if anybody in life who's just saying, no, I got to get better. And you just go work. Like, come on, that's a movie scene, right? That's a heroic thing to do.
Yeah. All right. Hey, so, you already did Henry. So Jarod, if you ever want to jump in.
No, I'm done. I gave my thanks.
You can grade ours.
F-. No.
So I admit that I don't know everything. I certainly not even close. But I will tell you that I know. I did a show in Toronto yesterday. I'm very popular in Toronto, by the way, because they love Scotty so much too. I do a lot of Toronto radio now. It wasn't my intent, trust me. But I have no problem with it though. Scotty Barnes has not scored well the last 2 games. He's missed a ton of shots. I don't remember the exact numbers. But there's a link there. If you scroll down his game log, Judy, we'll see it. If you scroll down, there we go. So 3 of 11 and 1 of 8 his last 2 games. Now, the 3 of 11, let me just say, hey, Scotty, if you're listening, don't ISO against Draymond Green. Not a good idea. He was trying to score against Draymond, and Draymond was very cool about it, but I think he wanted to say, motherfucker, I'm Draymond Green. Like, you're supposed to pass the ball, Rook. You don't try to score on me one-on-one. But he was getting great looks and this weren't going in. He also has a serious thumb injury, which is affecting his thumb. I ain't worried one bit. Like, I love what I'm seeing from this guy still. And I'm glad that I'm smart enough to recognize that it's a couple of bad games I don't get. Just like he had 2 great games. All it is a glimpse for what's possible. There has to be a lot more consistency before we really buy in. So I'll talk more about the rookies again later. Yeah, I'm not down on him one bit for a couple of bad games. A couple of bad shooting games anyway.
I'm thankful for Ben Simmons because he could use a little pick-me-up.
He could.
Really could.
That's a good one. That's an A, Henry. You get an A for that one. That was good.
He could. All right, so I got a good one for you guys. I got a really good one. I'm thankful for Tommy Sheppard's extension, our friend, because I see a storm coming, and the storm's name is Bradley Beal. Now, let me tell you what I mean by that. At the end of, I think, quarter 1 against Charlotte in Washington, I believe the game was in Washington. There's like 5 seconds after Charlotte scores. I think LaMelo hit a 3. And here come the Wizards pushing, and Kyle Kuzma's pushing. He's down the floor in like a second and a half. There's a good 3.5 seconds left, and Beal is near him. And as I'm watching the game, I'm thinking, well, just give the ball to Bradley Beal. And instead, Kuzma keeps going and takes up some bullshit shot, doesn't get close and score. Quarter's over, and Beal's still in the camera, and Beal just kind of does one of those like little head shakes, and he's thinking, "Fuck, I got to get out of here." Now, I don't think he does that a lot, but he's not been playing great, and the team has done really well, and he's not playing great, which should get you excited. But there's no way this man thinks that they're better than the Nets and the Heat and the Bucks come playoff time. So if he's willing to be on a team that's going to be fighting for 4th or 5th best at best, then fine. But I just saw the way he shook his head, and I'm just telling you guys, there's going to be a dramatic storm coming in Washington. And I'm glad Tommy already has the extension, because I see some serious stuff going on there coming.
Coach, you get a B+. You would have gotten an A, but you forgot to mention the thing while Kyle Kuzma's crazy was his fantastic sweater that he was wearing the other night.
There we go.
That's the reason why Kyle Kuzma was shooting the ball like a nut job.
I like Kyle Kuzma. I like him. Yeah, he's improved.
His pregame fit.
Talking about improving as a player, he got better on defensively and shot selection in LA. He just lost his mind on that play. I don't follow the game like you guys do. I miss a lot of really great stuff. I like the sweater. I'm all for.
I just know Kyle Kuzma woke up that morning and was like, "I'm going to get the whole NBA to talk about me."
Did it work? Because I didn't see it.
Oh yeah, it worked.
Yeah. What did they like? It wasn't the color. Was it?
That shot didn't show, but
yeah,
it's a tent. He was wearing a tent, a knitted tent.
That's right. Betty has the same outfit. There you go.
Oh my god!
Look, it's fantastic. This is, by the way, that sweater retails for $1,700. FYI.
Was it made for George Mirzhan?
And Kyle 6'10". No, that's the design from Rafe Simmons.
It was made for
oversized. Is his. Oversized is Rafe Simmons. That's one of his trademarks. Listen, you want to talk about haute couture and luxury fashion? We can add that as a segment if you like. I got all the info on that for you.
That's crazy.
I need to change if we're gonna do that. I can't. Yeah,
I'm on for the color. Yeah, or Bobo. Yeah, that's good.
All right, so the NBA doesn't have its like quote next LeBron, as in the player so famous he'll be on late night talk shows and your mom will know who he is. But the list of candidates is so long, and I'm thankful for that. Giannis Antetokounmpo, Zion Williamson, Luka Doncic, John Morant, Trae Young, LaMelo Ball, Zach LaVine, Devin Booker, Evan Mobley, Scotty Barnes. I know it's hard for all of that, and there are more, right? It's hard. Like this is like the marathon where there's like 20 people in the lead pack, and that's very good for the sport. So I'm thankful for that. Those people have all done incredible hard work to get this far.
I love that. Do we think? I mean, who is the person of that right off the top of your head, Coach and Henry, that you think is the not LeBron and this is going to be as good, but like that next? All right, he's on the tip of everyone's tongue. Everyone, grandmas, I know who that is. Who do you think is going to be the one if you had a bet?
I know what I would say. What do you want to say? Go first, Henry.
I think that it depends a lot on Zion's health.
Yeah.
Right. If Zion just dunked on everybody, then I think he's the first in that line.
Yeah.
But
he's the guy. Jimmy Butler's taking as many free throws now as he was before because he didn't need anything else. He was playing bully ball, and you had to wrestle him to stop him from scoring. And Zion's going to be the same, and more. Like you can change the rules if you want to. It won't matter to him.
Yeah,
like he's just that good of a player. Unfortunately, it's going to be stuck for a while on what seems to be a very, very bad team. But I agree with him.
And he's got to get healthy. Yeah, I agree with you. He's got to get healthy.
Yeah. And I've heard things are going in the right direction, but all right. So every year I read All the President's Men. I just decide, okay, it's time. Something happens in the world. Remind me to go back from the beginning. I know every page. I know the movie 1,000 times over, but because the context of my reading changes every year based on what's happening in the world. I read it this year, and I've got Henry's Epstein essays in my head. And if you had said to me, was blackmail ever a big part of the Watergate story? And I mean, I've read this book 25 times at least. I don't think I would have said yes. It's possible that I would have, but I don't think so. But it was, because the fucking burglars all knew that what they were doing was just one little thing of many that they were either hired to do or friends were hired to do. They knew so much shit. And they were blackmailing Nixon and Team Nixon to get more money to stay silent. It's just, blackmail is a very big part of a lot that Henry is talking about today. And I also thought of you, Henry, at one of the last pages in the book. Woodward and Bernstein write about how Nixon is, long fits of depression. Everything. This is before he's resigned, and now the only people he talks to, but here comes the drum roll. The two they call them millionaires in this book. This book was written in the early 70s. God knows how many millions they had. They're like billionaires now. Two longtime supporting super rich white dudes were the only people he was talking to by the end. That if you read Henry's stuff, that makes perfect sense too.
Well, David, we could go all day.
I know we can.
But I would just remind you, we've talked about it before, but the money that they hand delivered to the families of the burglars in Florida, right, was hand delivered by Milian Rodriguez, who went on to become the cartel's accountant in Miami, who testified that he placed $11 billion into major banks in the U.S. But same little group of people, right?
Yeah.
Boy, that's a coincidence.
See, this is the problem with major crimes like this, guys. So, when you're thinking about, your next, pinky in the brain idea of taking over the world and the crazy crime you're going to do, too many people involved. You got to pay too many guys. It's not going to work.
Yeah.
You're going to run out of money, man. It's just too many guys to keep quiet. Too many. Too many.
We might have tiptoed just a little bit away from the Thanksgiving vibe just for a second.
I got it coming back though. Good.
Is it me now? Did you finish, David?
Yeah.
Okay. Just a little shout out to Evan Mobley, who has almost the best defensive stats in the NBA. I'm telling you, he's ahead of Rudy Gobert in dunks and threes defensive rating. I've been looking at these advanced stats for a long time. Rookies just don't do that. Rookies don't climb that ladder. It's early, and I'm sure it'll come down, whatever. But yeah, what the hell? I think there's a little video, maybe you've seen it, where he sits down and talks about some of his plays, and they run a zone where he's at the top and he's out there guarding Trae Young and stuff, right? It's and he's 7 feet tall. It's just awesome. And it's fun for the league. Shout out to Evan Mobley.
He's fantastic. It's just a bummer he got hurt, right? Out now.
How long is he out for now, Jarod? How long?
3 weeks, I think, 2 to 4. So I'm gonna go split the difference, somewhere in the middle, but maybe it'd be a whole month.
Sounds like Christmas.
Yeah, it's a shame because rookie of the year. That was my vote. I was like, no, he's winning rookie of the year right now.
He still might. Yeah, there's a long way to go. Jalen Green's advanced metrics are so beyond horrible. I almost feel like something's wrong. I looked up his on-off numbers on NBA Basketball Reference yesterday, and I think he was like minus 50. I'm not even kidding. It had to be a misprint. It is terrible what's happening there. So
last year he played for the Ignite. This year he's playing for the Extinguish. I don't know.
Right.
That was a dad joke.
That's a bad one.
But speaking of Mobley and Barnes, I'm starting to read all over the place now that everyone's starting to see that they're the top two. And when I said earlier, I can be humming like everyone else. Of course, I know I don't know a lot, but Cade Cunningham is coming, by the way. And I liked him. I just didn't love him like the other two. He's coming. I think he'd be a very, very good player. I like that everyone's trying to realize that Barnes and Mobley, and for both of them, let's be clear, they are so far away from their potential, from their ultimate best player. And I don't know if they'll get there. It's hard. It's just really hard. And lots of great players now and guys that are in college or high school now that they'll be playing against in the future are going to try to prevent them from being that good. And who your coach is, Barnes has helped a lot by where he is. We don't know about Mobley. It's just really hard to get to be the best player you can be, like Kevin Durant is and Harden has been. My island of those are the two best players in the draft is very full now. I'm happy to have them.
Welcome aboard, everybody.
Welcome aboard.
I am thankful for the Derrick Rose play David found that was in yesterday's TrueHoop post.
How great is that?
Here we go.
He just suckers these guys into making his save, Connaughton.
It's a great play because there's an old man who starts on the ground lying down, which is how old men.
But look how he times it up.
Yeah, and then he
knows exactly what he's doing. Don't you think, Jarod?
Oh, for sure. Totally knows.
Pat Connaughton's airborne trying to inbound the ball and looks at the biggest target around is Bobby Portis, and Derrick Rose is just waiting a little bit extra on the ground to like jump in and take it, and then he gets the layup too. Like
that's what you gotta do when you're an old man. You gotta lie in wait like the little tiger or cheetah, right? You gotta the energy. You can't expend it anymore like you used to.
Pat Connaughton did not see him coming,
and he's the youngest person on the podcast. Yeah.
It's true. Gotta lie and wait, man. Got to.
All right. So we talk a lot about culture, as we should, and the value of it and everything. And we also, my favorite word is decency. I'm so happy that former Bring It In guest Alvin Gentry is running a team. And you know what? As fucking horrible as the Kings have been for so long, and for many different reasons and in many different ways, having that kind, gentle, bright, loving man be in charge of that land of misfits right now is, you know what, they might have stumbled into something really good. I'm not saying he's the best coach in the world. I don't think the evidence suggests that he is, but that team needs a dose of just fucking love and decency and competence and experience. And I think he can do it. Yeah. Maybe he's best off always being number 2 at this point in his career. I'm just happy he's getting a chance now. It makes it just, it's a good Thanksgiving gift.
I'm with you on that, Coach. And I agree, Caleb. Photoshop with the Isle of Misfit toys with the Kings logo on it. Cause that is just competency and decency, Coach, not just at the head coach level. They need that everywhere in the Kings organization because that's just a dumpster fire.
Yeah.
Well, and we could go on, but they've had a lot of smart people have gone to work in that front office. But like when it keeps not working, you have to think that there's some problem above, maybe.
Yes.
I am thankful that the Portland Trailblazers have won 4 games in a row against the Raptors, Bulls, 76ers, and Nuggets. I know what you're going to say about that Nuggets win. Okay. I don't care. Like, it's Thanksgiving. Let's be nice. This has been a terrible time to be a Blazers fan, but maybe not so bad. You know,
you're not so bad.
Not so bad. Not so bad.
Yeah. I think I had them winning 47, 48 games, I believe. They could easily do that. They could probably even get to 50.
And all quiet around the Damian Lillard front. So that's
when you got to start being suspicious.
Yeah, I'm not totally buying that. But
that's when you do the deal. You're
like, shit, it's coming.
He ain't getting traded. There's lots of talk. It's when it comes out of nowhere is when that'll happen. And winning is good for everybody.
We just need to sort out for sure who's the GM of the team. That's like one of the first questions.
You got a little bit of a problem right now with Neil. Neil's a little busy dealing with something else.
Yeah.
All right, so you guys have to watch this play with Draymond Green, and there's 2 amazing lessons here to watch, and I'll translate a little bit. But Jordan Poole scores and kind of dances just for a moment against your team, against Jarod, not your team, the team you cover the most, the Nets. I believe it's the Nets, right? If you see it. And Bembry. Am I wrong?
Bembry? Yeah, Bembry's in the Nets. Yep.
Yeah. I went blank for a second. So, yeah. And so while Poole is celebrating, here come the Nets full speed. And Poole realizes, oh my God, I'm 7 steps behind Bembry, who's the guy I'm guarding. So if you see the video, you see him look at him kind of mocking in the crowd. But then, he's jogging. And then he realized Bembry's wide open. Draymond goes to cut him off. And here's the best part. Keep playing it, Judy. The best part is Poole chased him from behind because he feels very badly that he celebrated and let Bembry get a run out. But he ran into Draymond Green. And Draymond has him locked up.
Yeah.
Poole fouls him.
Yeah.
And Draymond screams at Poole, I had him. Like, don't fucking foul him. I think he might have said, Thorpe's rule number 1 on defense, don't foul anybody. I'm pretty sure he said that. But he was teaching like, hey, now the truth is Poole didn't foul him on purpose. Poole thought he could make a play. But what we teach is you don't make a play from a position of weakness.
Right. Right.
You get, just crowd him is all you want to do. You think you went for a steal, but you were behind him. That's a very dangerous spot. I had him there. It's different if he's on his own. You're not really risking as much. But that guy, one chance in 10, he was scoring on Draymond Green. 2 chances in 10, he would get an offensive foul trying to push Green off, scoring. Like, those odds are good. And so I just love that Draymond is still teaching it. He's a huge reason why they're the best team in the league right now. And
he didn't jump too, right?
What's that?
He didn't jump.
Nope.
Oh, Draymond had him.
Yeah.
I mean, he might have gone a little vertical, but his arm was straight up in the air.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he was not fouling him. He knew it. Why would you foul a guy you know is not going to score on you? You wouldn't. Draymond is brilliant that way. Draymond probably saw the play coming 6 seconds earlier. Poole didn't. He should have realized, I'm taking, actually, it's like leading a bug into a spider's web. Like, you're taking him right to where you want to go. The spider will take care of business from there. And, but I love that Draymond, I mean, we're seeing Draymond playing very high level.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Rudy Gobert is not a sure thing to be defensive player of the year. In fact, I would argue he's not the favorite. It's probably Draymond or Giannis.
Draymond. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Giannis. Giannis also is, if you look at Giannis's numbers and watch him, he's protecting the rim like no one is. Like, maybe Rudy is the only one doing it like he is. And but yeah, what the Warriors are doing, we haven't talked about Steph Curry yet. I know all of us feel the same. The joy he brings makes us all very, very thankful. But what Draymond's doing on defense is that fire and ice is can't have one without the other and be the same impact.
Your point about position of weakness. I mean, the only reason why Poole was doing that was because he knew, fuck, that was me. I spent too much time dancing. Now I got to go try to. Now I got to make up for it.
Yeah,
the game's so fast now. Like, he danced for 0.4 of a second.
That was sub out for me. When you did anything like, well, first of all, I would scream at you. Why aren't you denying your man? We were denying, or we're in a press, one or the other. This is the NBA. They're not doing that. But save it for a whistle or after the game.
Yeah.
Right. There's no time anymore for that shit.
No.
Fucking play ball. Yeah, I love it.
I'm going through a difficult personal trial where I stopped drinking coffee. And so my next thing I'm thankful for is Costco green tea. They sell it in a box with like 1 million tea bags, and I drink one of those boxes a day. It's great. Thank you.
Is it
yeah,
good?
there you
I've
go.
never had it. I drink a lot
Kirkland's signature Japanese green tea, sencha matcha.
Kirkland, that's the Costco brand.
I'm not elitist in any way, shape, or form. It's a Costco product, but I am like, I don't like every green tea. They're not all great. But
how do you fix it? Do you put lemon in it?
Oh no, thank you. No.
Oh, I've read that lemon helps it be a better cancer fighter.
It might be the case, but I just green tea with another flavor is not my thing. I just want
wrong.
I drink it raw with lemon.
Wrong. Yeah. No, Judy's just out on all this. Nope.
Judy's saying no lemon in green tea?
Yeah, none. No.
Yeah.
Out.
I mean, I started putting it in there because I read that I had cancer once, so I'm doing my best to try to fight cancer. So I'm gonna look into it, Judy.
That's a great card to play in a green tea debate. I'll give you that.
I don't know if I'm not saying it's any good. When I drink, Henry, Jarod, there was a period of time where I was buying
venti iced green tea, light ice.
Light ice.
Yeah.
I was always on the phone with Henry when I walk in and order it. Yeah, I didn't need anything.
I will just have you speak to my girlfriend, David, who is a nutritionist that deals with cancer patients, and she will disabuse you of green teas helping cancer. But, that's for a different day.
I can stop drinking green tea too.
Yes.
I am.
Yes.
I'm not thankful for Jarod's insight.
It's not. Yeah. I mean, yeah. That's a different show.
I need to hear this. All right. So I was trying to think of a word that best describes the league as it stands today, and I came up with the word morass. You guys may feel differently, but look at the standings. Like, it is, but I mean, the Warriors are alone. Now they play the super easy schedule, but still you got to win those games, and they have. But it is just a jumble of teams where I think it's a little more spread out in the West, but you're still talking about a whole bunch of teams who just look okay, right? Good, but there's only this one standout team. I mean, the Nets are 13-5. The Cavs are in 10th spot at 9-9.
Mm-hmm.
It's 4 games. Like, that's nothing. I realize we haven't gone through a long season yet, but look at all those teams. And the Raptors are 8-10. The Pacers, after a bad start where they lost a couple of very close games, are 8-11. You have 2 bad teams in the East only, Detroit and Orlando. And then same thing there. The Wolves have won 4 straight. Yeah, I'm looking at it now. They've won 4 straight. It's a morass, man. There's a lot left here to figure out. We don't know. There's no runaway favorite. I think the Warriors, even when they get Clay back, there's going to be some risk there when they play him.
And some time. And we got to see, we're just about at the 20 game mark. We're a couple days and we'll be at the 20 game mark, which is the quarter mark of the season. And generally we all like where you are at 20 games tends to be where you likely end up at 82. Of course, barring a major injury happens or a major trade, like some kind of major thing happens. It's like, oh, this changes our fortune. Like if you're the Nuggets right now with now PJ Dozier out with a torn ACL, you already got the Murray and Michael Porter Jr. The nerve issue might be done for the season.
Yeah.
Jokic has got the wrist. This is the third consecutive season, super constricted time. Do you kind of say, and I know coaches and GMs, coaches especially don't want to hear this. Is it kind of where you're like, this is probably not happening for us this year, right? Do we take our time with Jokic, play the younger guys, see what you have with is Bol real? What is this, right? See what you have, because I just don't. What's the point of rushing Jokic back, taxing him? Because if you play him, you can make the playoffs, but then you get everybody back. He then gets injured, and now you're done, right? Like,
I think it's a great question. The other way they could do it is say, fuck it. We can't take it. We can't lose any year. We've got Jokic on our team. He's the best player in the world. And so do we do a deal to make us healthy now at the risk for the future? I thought they might go that way. I'm not saying they would, but I think you bring up a terrific point because that window is still very open. And so if you can develop Bol or whoever else from their team, they're better.
What are you looking for? Are you looking for like a Covington or a Nurkic? Like what kind of a thing do we need here?
Get him on the Blazers. What do you?
I mean, Dozier is a Covington type player.
Yeah.
I don't think they would want Roko.
They're just snake bit right now. Like it's just, and I think it's just this is the year I think that we're going to injury just because of the last two. It's like, I feel like it's going to be so bad. I just see more and more of this stuff coming this year. I don't know. I don't want to play Doomsday, but
I'm thankful. So I was thinking about last Thanksgiving when I didn't know it at the time, but we were all about to get COVID here. And so I'm thankful that in the meantime, we have a vaccine, medicines, all those people who work to get that to happen, everyone who's put on a mask, anything anyone has done to like keep the COVID numbers down, like here's looking at you. Appreciate you.
He gave him the point and the wink.
I don't do that for just anyone.
And the sound effect.
Yeah.
You're thankful for science.
I am. I'm thankful for science. It's had kind of a rough year. You know what I mean? Like
rough for 5 years.
Had a rough half a century, really. If you really want to, like,
if science was an animated figure, we would say it's been beleaguered. It's beleaguered. It's just taking a beating. So, guys, what team has the longest win streak in the NBA right now?
The Suns.
How long?
12 or 13?
Yes, sir. 13.
13.
They play so far away from us in the East. We don't see them all the time, but they're the one team that's really surging. The Warriors have been great all year. 13 in a row that's just no joke. It's no joke. They had 30.
The weirder part is they just started badly, right? That's the more outlier.
They just had a rough start for a little bit. Yeah. Now they're rolling.
But it makes sense, though. They played in the finals and like the whole Sarver thing, and DeAndre didn't get his money. So, like,
and Booker was in the Olympics.
Right, yeah,
I love Devin Vassell, by the way. It was KD on the film. Devin Vassell's having himself a nice second year with the Spurs. I love Monty Williams, who was just okay in New Orleans. I thought. I did not think he was a great coach. I thought he was a good man. I knew he was a great coach. They're really good guys pretty much everywhere now. The Suns don't really have a weakness that as you go into scheme, you're thinking we can really exploit that. You can do some things maybe to exploit a little bit, but there's not going to be something that's going to be a game changer for a series. Now, it's a long way to go. They really missed Dario Saric in the postseason last year. And he was a great defensive player off the bench. Yep. Where you don't find many of those post players that can really guard off your bench. Right now, they're super solid. And Monty he's just got it rolling. He's got it rolling. Chris Paul's got it rolling. Devin Booker's got it rolling. DeAndre Ayton is really coming now in year 3 for him, which is why they probably should have done what they ever do to get the extension for him. But year 4, right?
Year 4. Yeah, I think it's 4. Yeah.
So yeah, I'm glad. The biggest thing to me is I've said this a million times, coaches can get better too. Like, we don't have it all figured out when we first get our first job, second job, third job. We can live and learn and hire better staffs and whatever. And Monty's proven that, I think, this year.
Question for both of you.
Yeah.
If you replace Monty and Chris this year, given everything, how the year started, with a player and a coach, same talent level as both, but different temperaments, are they on this 13-game win streak right now?
I mean, the formula is different. It's silly to say even probably, because I think it's 50-50 at best. I mean, they're very good. They're very good. I think your point, I think I know your point. And that is Monty's tone is fucking perfect.
Yeah.
Right?
Because
he knows how to deal with Chris.
And Chris, like, as someone who spent a lot of time hearing from reporters who covered the Clippers in Chris's heyday, like, he's difficult.
Exactly.
For sure.
He's difficult for teammates. He's difficult for coaches. And like, Chris reveres and loves Monty at this point. And like, well, that's like when the Sixers, when I first started covering the league, they were like, basically Allen Iverson and Larry Brown learned to trust each other for a period, which was for each of them the first time it ever happened, right? Like he, as a coach, first time he loved a player, and the player first time he loved a coach, and like for a while it took him to the finals, right? I think like they have a little magical connection right now. Who knows how long it lasts, but it's not standard or common. And it's
Chris is like Napoleon. He's he's a little dictator.
I think you're exactly right, Henry. Yeah, Monty it just is rolling right now. It's hard. Tell me if I'm wrong, and I'm no religionist, but it's hard to think. Tony Dungy and Monty Williams are two very religious men that seem just impeccable in terms of character, integrity, approach, process, all those things. If you're a young man and want to grow up to be like someone, those are two very fine candidates. And even guys like Chris Paul, who had learned to be such an ass, they didn't used to be, hard to do with those guys. They're just so decent. He's just such a decent, Monty's such a decent, consistent person and upbeat. Like he's
been through hell. He's been through absolute hell.
Right.
Like, yeah.
And that's what I think. Yeah. I think it's that mindset. Because look, DeAndre could have easily been like, I'm off the reservation now. What? You guys didn't pay me. You told me when you brought Chris in here and I got to take a step back and do all the I did all that and you're not paying me. You guys know that easily breaks up a team, and he goes off the reservation. And I think Monty's a big reason why he's not going crazy. Like, keeping it all together.
I think you're exactly right.
Okay, we have about 13 minutes. I've got we'll see. We'll see how we go with my thankful list. But now we're going to go on speed round. I'm thankful for the players who would be all-stars if we valued defense as much as offense, but instead aren't famous at all. Here's looking at you: Isaiah Hartenstein, Josh Okogie, Bruce Brown, Tony Bradley, Derek White, Denny Avdia, Jared Vanderbilt, and he's a little famous now, Isaiah Stewart.
Famous.
But those guys are like top 20, top 30 NBA defenders, and no one, like, try that on your mom. Like, she has no idea who any of those.
We only care about buckets, Henry. You know this.
Yeah. But if you care about winning, then you want to stop buckets.
Make a note if we have time. I do want to. I talked to a player yesterday about Isaiah Stewart. I think it's important to talk about him, but we can wait to the end.
He's an interesting guy. Okay, I am thankful for every key on my keyboard that is not the letter T, because it just fell off yesterday. I think I typed hard.
So now I'm Horp, David Horp. Jarod Hector.
Yeah, I have to
Henry Abbott.
Literally, like, if I'm not paying careful attention, that's what's happening. It's just I just kind of shoved it back on there, and it's like, I gotta go to the gym.
Got to MacGyver that thing better than that. That ain't working.
No, it's not great. Okay, Caleb. No, I'm not dissing anybody's mom on Thanksgiving. No, incorrect. All right. Okay, here's the parable. I think it's a good kind of pandemic parable, although I think it's famous. I think it's often called, maybe a little racistly, the parable of the Chinese farmer. It goes like this. A farmer and his family owned a horse. His neighbor said how lucky he was to have such a fine horse and to pull his plow through the fields. And the farmer said, actually, Jarod, do you want to be the guy who says perhaps every time that you say perhaps?
Sure. Do you want me to say perhaps?
Hey, yeah, look at that. Voice professional Jarod Hector. Okay. One day the horse ran away. His neighbors came around to lament his bad luck. And then the farmer said,
perhaps.
Days later, the horse returned to the farm along with 7 wild horses. His neighbors said, now you are rich. And the farmer said,
Perhaps.
A few weeks later, the farmer's son was training the new wild horses and fell off and broke his leg. The neighbors, of course, they tend to fly off the handle a little. They were like, what bad luck? And then the farmer said,
Perhaps.
the next week, the army came around, taking all the able-bodied young men from the village to fight in the war. The farmer's son with the broken leg was left behind. The neighbors saw and lamented the loss of their sons and commented how lucky the farmer was to have a son. And the point is, a lot of crazy shit happens. You don't have to sort of make a big conclusion about it in the moment, right? There's more twists and turns to the story of this crazy pandemic and whatever's going on with the NBA and this whatever. The point is, I think you can kind of maybe it'll take a turn that we hadn't foresee coming. And Jarod,
Larry David,
I like
show.
it.
This is Larry David's show. Just
Yeah.
get down a notch, okay?
Yeah.
So like that, I gave you guys a little nuance on that, perhaps, right? Based on
You
what
really
the scenario was.
That was the
calling
acting
for.
part.
That's the acting part.
The voice part we heard. The acting part was
Yeah. I think we got 3 distinct perhapses.
yeah.
That's it. That's it.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'm a professional.
Like, it's obvious. So on that exact note, I'm thankful for this little story. I was listening to the Haber show, where the guest was Brandon Payne, Steph Curry's trainer, and he had this little story about training Luka, and they have these insane drills where they have little lights that flash at like ridiculous rates, and each time different color flashes, you have to do a different drill. And the first time everybody does it, they look terrible because it's just a new skill. And he was saying that that Luka, was bad for the first minute of every different new drill, but grinned the entire time. And I just love this notion of Luka just encountering something he's terrible at and just being like, ooh, like this is fun. Like this would be like, that's a big part of how you get to be Luka, right? He's not like fuck. He's like, oh, let's see if I can get this down. And of course he gets them all down.
Yeah, it's like Sherlock Holmes when you present a case to him. Like, ooh, you think you can stop me? Here we go.
Yeah, that's good.
That's good stuff.
All right, I'm late to this party, but I am thankful for this loyal crew here: Randy, Devin, Caleb, Greg, David, people who show up in person, subscribers. Except for that thing about the mom, Caleb, that was a little bit of a. But yeah, super thankful for you guys. We lean on Devin too hard, right? We're always like we can't do research. We don't have to know facts.
Like Devin, Google.
I'm thankful. Randy and his lovely wife Michelle and his dog Meadow were here in this house last weekend, and very thankful for Randy. He's a longtime friend. Super thankful that my dog and Randy's dog got along. I was a little worried about that. My dog can be a little bit of a tough customer at times. She's not an athlete, but she's mean. But no, just very nice. That went really well. Very thankful for that. I am thankful for you guys, of course. Jarod, we had lunch, and I left that lunch. I don't know if you know, and called Judy and I was like, oh, we're gonna do something with Jarod. But David is like, I feel like you're like my brother. Like we've been, David's been the person who's like the most heavy user of my phone probably for 15 years, like that. It's I can't tell the whole story now, but David, you mean the world to me, and be on this journey together. Thank you. And Judy literally is family. There's no one I'd rather be cut off by at noon. Like it's just tip top.
Legally, she is family.
Get the sunrise note from the beach.
Yeah, I'll accept it. She's earned it. Yeah. All right, we did it. That's all I have. So we have a few minutes left. What are your Thanksgiving plans?
Go first, Coach.
Oh, well, they've changed now because my dad can't come here, but he is supposed to be going home. We have 24/7 care for him. So we're gonna have we normally have a lot of people, 25, 30. We're gonna have maybe 10. My brother and his girls from college, they're bringing a friend, and but then we'll bring food over to my parents and dessert, and as long as he's able to see us. I think he'll be able to. So I'm making a very good torpedo punch.
Ooh.
Cranberry, orange juice, vodka. Well, let me rephrase that: vodka, cranberry juice, orange juice, and then I recommend a little Sprite with some fruit garnish. I'm gonna make it up tomorrow.
Mostly vodka. Mostly.
Yeah. If you look at my calendar, I have the entire day is unmarked, which is a very rare thing. We're all busy. all I have in there, this surprised me that I did this months ago. At 2:30 p.m., I'm making torpedoes punch, and I put it in there with the menu with the ingredients. So that'll be a nice thing. Yeah,
we are. Well, first we're gonna, do our normal wake up thing. Go for a run. We're gonna have a nice family time, the three of us with the dog. Take her for a long walk because we are going across the river to that state of New Jersey to my aunt's house for Thanksgiving. We're gonna go do that thing over there, and she'll be over here like, where are you guys? When are you coming back? So her walker is gonna come and take care of her and take her for a walk and give her some dinner while we're enjoying the festivities over my aunt's house. Everyone fully vaccinated. Quite a number of us are also boosted as well. So should be a lovely time. Looking forward to seeing my fam, and it'll be celebration of my birthday because it was on Sunday. So we'll do a family celebration.
Happy birthday.
Thank you very much.
I like that your Thanksgiving was told mostly from the point of view of Hazel.
Yeah, well, because she rules my life. That's how it goes.
How about you, Henry?
We have all the Abbotts here, and we're gonna run the turkey trot. But you guys are so icy cold 5K.
Yeah.
And then that does kind of float. It's a small town. It's a small town thing. From the finish line to our house is like a lot of crazy. There's like people are having live drums on the front yard. Then there's people got mixed drinks over here, like hot mulled wine and then whatever. There's like it's just a great small town day of like kind of freezing your butt off. And since you've run 5K, there's a certain sense of entitlement that you can kind of I'm a yes man, right? I'm like, whatever you guys got, let's do it. People have baked things, whatever. And that's kind of, then you hop in the car. We're going to go 2 hours to like big family gathering with all just insane amounts of food. So now by the time you get to like 4 p.m. when it's actually time to eat, you run the 5K, didn't really have lunch. And then it's just fully indulgent, just eating so much. And I don't really, I have no football tradition in
my TV doesn't get turned on in my house.
Yeah, we're not watching football.
No, we are. So they are going to have a fire in the fireplace.
Nice.
And I'm going to watch football because what happens is after you run a 5K and maybe have a glass of wine or whatever and eat that much turkey. Like this is the one day of the year I'm sleep on the floor, Dad. Like, I'm just like,
great idea. Great idea.
And I wake up and I'm like, oh, what's the
turkey fans?
What's that?
Do you eat turkey, guys?
Yeah.
Well, as you know, I'm mostly plant-based, but on Thanksgiving I do indulge in the turkey. Hey, Judy, can you pop on for a second? We haven't seen your lovely face.
Yeah.
It is Thanksgiving. We need to be thankful for you.
Hell no.
She's just giving that a hard pass. Yeah. See.
Well, we are thankful for you, Judy. Even though you don't want to come on camera. Judy, you doing any 5K turkey trots? South Orange is a big one usually every year.
How sadistic are runners to make you guys run on holidays? I don't understand.
Yeah, but 5K is like nothing. That's just like, I maybe still have gel in my hair mask. I love it. But 5K is the fun race though, right, Henry? Because it's 3 miles. You're just like, it's cool.
20
People
minutes.
walk it, I'm sure.
It's fine.
Right.
My family always did it. Yeah, my family.
Actually, the most fun one I ever did was there's a woman who works in the local school district, and she's probably 60, and she's been a serious runner forever. And she had never had a certain time that she wanted to get in the 5K. And everybody knows her because everyone's been through the schools and she's been there forever. And and on the start line, like I heard that she was trying to make whatever time it was. And I was like, I'll run with you if you want. I can help pace you. Right. And it was like, I was a little bit faster. So I was comfortable. So I am now side by side with her I think it was 20 minutes was her goal, all 20 minutes. And every block, everyone's just like, yeah, like, just going crazy for her. And we just made it. And like, it was like that was great. I mean, it was just, love it. She's like a legend.
Love it.
Yeah. All right, everybody. This has been fun. Thank you as ever. Thank you, Judy. Thank you, Jarod. Thank you, David. We'll see you guys
Monday.
On Monday. We'll see you Monday.
Yeah. Be safe, everyone. Have a good weekend.
Have a good time, everybody.